Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We're learning new details about the 17-year-old shooter who killed a sixth grader and injured several others at a school in Iowa Thursday. Dylan Butler ended up turning the gun on himself. You're looking at him there. Investigators believe he planned the attack after he and his younger sister suffered relentless bullying from classmates. We're told the harassment was reported to school officials, but nothing happened, and Butler was fed up. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored tonight, parents Lewis Hunter and Stephanie Martinez, and psychotherapist Dr. Nick Hardy. So, Lewis, let's bring you into this conversation. Any sympathy here at all? What are your thoughts when someone is being bullied relentlessly at school and they see no other way than to bring a gun to campus and address the problem?
I think it has to do with a mix of poor coping skills. I think that it has a lot to do with the way that society is, with the internet, social media accounts, that sort of thing. You know, it's something that you can't get away from. That being said, I think bullying, that phrase, I think has been used as a catch-all term for kids that are mean to other kids. Kids have always been mean to other children. That's not an excuse to do what's done. You know, my mother's Korean. You know, my mother thought when we got to the States that a blue Hello Kitty was for boys. You know, everyone gets teased. You know, I'm part Asian, part black. I got called Bruce Leroy. You know, you name it. Kids are brutal. That's what it is. And sometimes you have to fight. That's what it is. But to come to school and shoot a sixth grader when you're in high school, and to make TikTok videos the morning of and weeks prior to the event, I think it's a cop-out, and they should have ground-checked him the minute they saw him. Luckily, he did it himself.
Stephanie Martinez, your thoughts on this as a parent?
I think it's unfortunate that we're seeing this a lot more often. It's happening a lot more, and I think it comes down to the bullying. You know, we need to hold these kids accountable and really be there, you know, to see like what's going on and why. And
when you say hold the kids accountable, are we talking about the ones who
that are doing the bullying?
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Dr. Nick Hardy, let's bring you in.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's so many layers to it. I mean, one, you have the bullying that occurs at the school, but then you also have, you know, access to, you know, the firearms. You also have the individual himself. You know, is there any type of psychological issues going on? I mean, it's layered, and I think, you know, when you look at something like this, there's no justifying it by any means. And so I think to use the fact that he was getting bullied as I don't want to say an excuse or any type of justifiable cause, it's unacceptable.
And Lewis, lacking the parent or lacking the coping skills to deal with bullying, do you see that as his problem or his parents' problem or the school problem?
I think that what his actions were a manifest of the way that his parents probably raised him. You know, he was probably raised in a you know, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, in a good home. But I don't think that he was given the coping skills necessary to get through what every child goes through. You know, I mean, schoolyard fights, you know, bullying, teasing, that's a part of growing up. It's almost a rite of passage that we all have to go through. Some of the best friends that I have from childhood teased me relentlessly, you know, and I did the same with them, you know, and it's okay. But
that gave you the experience.
It is, but I'm very reluctant.
But let's bring in Dr. Hardy. If your child doesn't have the ability to cope with something like that, what should a parent do in the last 40 seconds we have here?
Absolutely. I think the first thing, the parent needs to go to the school, you know, and, you know, demand some type of action from the school, creating a safe environment. Also, I think the parents need to communicate with the children, because they create that safe place when they are getting bullied, that they can have someone to talk to and be able to process whatever it is that's going on, and develop the resilience to be able to speak up, defend themselves, and advocate on behalf of whatever is happening.
All right, we want to thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor. Still ahead.